Is this your camera angle? Something way up top, something like using co-op. A lot of us are trained have trained ourselves to use co-op as a camera angle because we want to be able to quote unquote see the field, see our players and that nature. But what it does, it makes you not into the game, to be honest. You don't need to see all of your players on the pitch at once. It can also be distracting, to be honest with you. So I'm in squad battles for the purposes of this video so I can pause the game instantly. And I promise you, if you go into settings, this is something you will want to do before you come into Ultimate Teams, obviously. And go to your camera settings. We want to get off of co-op. Matter of fact, before we even get into that, you need to go to visual. And if you do not have your mini map, your radar, as the game calls it, on 3D, then you need to put your radar on 3D and set an opponent color because you need to get used to using your mini map. So that's first thing. Then we want to get off of co-op. We want to get off of co-op and we want to use telebroadcast. We want to use a height of 10, zoom of 10, and a far side focus of 10. 10, 10, 10. Now I know you see this 5 ball tracking speed. This is something I was testing out. Is usually I think the game automatically has it set to 0, but we're not gonna worry about that right now because that's my testing thing. But telebroadcast 10, 10, 10. This literally puts you into the game. And you're just going to see a bigger difference of how you can make a better judgment of how close the defender is to you. And just make a way better judgment. And the thing is, even on this, utilizing my mini map, I know exactly where my players are at. So I don't need to always see my striker on the field, like as far as on camera. I don't need to see my striker. And with this, you can become fixated more into where space is at, and knowing where the space is at. You're more in tune with the game, in my opinion, when you are playing on a camera angle like this. I can literally get into space because you know a lot of thing about this game. I'm pretty sure we've all seen videos on YouTube. They let them have that, where you know they train you and they tell you you gotta get into space. You gotta take that first touch into space. Everything's about space. This camera angle really puts you in tune to seeing where the space is at. I know exactly where my space is at. I know where the space I have, how much, like I said, just how close the defender is to me, everything. And you could just make a way better judgment. You will not have as much tackles. I can guarantee you that. I don't see how I didn't get that. This camera angle just really puts you into the game. And then you utilize your mini map. Like I'm building up off of my mini map right now. I see my strikers guarded, but I can come down here and I look at all this space I have, and I see, like, I could just see the space a whole lot better. You're able to drive the ball through. You're able to just understand spacing a whole lot better when you're playing in this type of camera angle on telebroadcast, the 10-10-10. Pros use it. Trust me when I tell you. I know when we watch a lot of stuff with the pros, you possibly won't see this particular camera angle. I almost feel like they make them play in a certain camera angle. But this puts you into the game. Like, I understand how much space I have over here. I know how much space I have to pass that ball through that, even though they let computer get that. But you just understand spacing a whole lot better. I see I have all this space down here, and I catch my striker. Try to catch Lukaku offside. Of course he misses it. Wow. But you just understand spacing, man. I'm telling you guys, try this out. It's telebroadcast 10-10-10, and make sure you are having your radar set to 3D. You want to have a 3D mini map. Set an opponent color and get used to it. So that's game for game for game for game. You always know what color your opponent is when you utilizing your mini map, because you want to utilize your mini map. You guys know how I do it. Explosive football techniques, aka effective football techniques.